everybody, it's Batch Perry here today. Today we're going to do some more guitar practicing. Let me just get everything set up first. Yeah. Pretty cool, right? She's not coming back, is she? No. Is she? No. How's
it going, guys? Welcome to an absolute beginner's electric guitar lesson. But if you saw my video that I uploaded yesterday, you'll know what's coming. I'm going to be demoing everything that I do in this video with my non-dominant hand. I'm going to be doing this left-handed. Now, why on earth would I do such a thing? Well, I've uploaded many beginner easy riffs and many absolute beginner guitar lessons over the last 10 years here on YouTube. And what I want to offer is a new perspective, especially on electric guitar, because frankly, electric guitar offers so many more options even as an absolute beginner to play, but those things maybe aren't as easy to cover in your standard beginner's guitar lesson. I wanted to put myself in the shoes of an absolute beginner and show you what can be physically playable, even to an absolute beginner. I have not been practicing playing guitar left-handed. This is something that I'm wanting to do totally afresh to show you guys what you can expect when you're trying out electric guitar riffs and trying to play anything on electric guitar. As a total beginner, I'm putting myself in your shoes. If you would like to grab your guitar and join me, I'd love you to play along with me with your electric guitar. The one thing we need to know, though, is how to get your guitar in tune. That video is just up here. You can use any number of free guitar apps, but if you need my video on it, teaching you how to get your guitar in tune, that's the video that you need. Let's make a start. So first things first, even on electric guitar, the same things still apply that we did in the previous video where I covered how to do this on acoustic guitar and demoing things left-handed. Here's the E major and then the A major. I'm learning a few easy songs with just the E, A, and then the D chord, but once those E and A are learnt, there's our D chord just there. And let's see how this sounds. That's the D, that's the A, and that's the E. I've got to that level by just drilling the changes between each of those. So E to then to the A, E then the A. And of course, I'm aware of how to strumming time and that kind of thing. All those basics need to be learned just by strumming easy songs. And I really recommend that you check out that first video and then perhaps my free 10-day starter course, which is kind of designed for acoustic guitar, but we need all those same principles, even if you want to rock out and play electric guitar. However, once you have got E, A, and D major under your fingers, there's a couple of really fun things that we can do on electric guitar, even if you haven't done any of that. Just kind of get the buzz going, show you the possibilities, and keep you playing guitar because it's such a fun thing. There's so many things open for us, and a couple of those things are power chords. And this is basically the E major chord, but just playable with one finger. But to do that, we just play the thickest two strings. Straight away, that has a little bit of overdrive on my sound. I'm using an amplifier and I'm on the overdrive channel, but that makes it sound like this. And that is a really great sound, and that's the reason a lot of people want to be able to play electric guitar, to kind of get that sound. And then we can play that same thing but a string down. Sometimes I would move my thumb over the top, because we've got to be very careful which strings we pick. I'm only picking string 5 and 4. But that's the E5 and the A5, easy 2 power chords, and that's where we start with my electric guitar starter course, which is an offshoot of my main guitar syllabus, which just shows you all these kind of extra things where you can get playing guitar straight away, with all the other cool things that are really electric guitar specific and kind of rock guitar specific as well. We can do that same thing on the D as well, though it's a little bit trickier because we've got to find just the middle 2 strings. And then with those 3 chords, we can play a lot of riffs, but the riffs tend to be all about playing chords and changing chords well, recreating the rhythm of the riff, and then muting, so being able to play a chord and tame the beast. We've got to, especially with some electric guitar overdrive on it. That muting becomes everything. That's a very different approach to if we're typically playing kind of beginner acoustic guitar songs. So that's a very electric guitar specific thing. What else can we go for? Well, we've hopefully learned the E, D, and A major chords by now, the full way of playing those chords. So it's well worth learning a couple of easy riffs with those chords. One of my favorites would be I Can't Explain by The Who. This one's a little bit trickier because there's a bit more to it, but let me give this a go.
Taking the stage on karaoke night takes confidence. It's hard to feel confident when you apply for a credit card. With Karma Confidence technology, you can be more confident in your chance of approval for a great credit card before you even apply. Create your own Karma with Credit Karma.
in the mall.
Let me give this a go. That is a song by The Who, which are one of my favourite bands, that you can even play as an absolute beginner. Now, of course, as I've previously said, there are things that I know because I play guitar and I'm a musician about rhythm and timing. I know how that song goes already. I've taught it many times. And just learning the physical skill of playing these chords left-handed, I can get a result a lot quicker than I might expect any beginner to do. So the biggest thing is just keep playing 15 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day just to get these chords under your fingers. If you want to practice more than that and longer than that, have a little break, because it's still going to be leaving lines in your fingers and it's going to be painful for your fingertips. Though I will say it's not nearly as painful to play electric guitar, even as a beginner, as it is acoustic guitar. Acoustic guitar is going to leave bigger lines in your fingers and be much harder to play, frankly, it has to be said. A lot of people want to play acoustic guitar, and that's fine, but electric guitar is more forgiving. The overdrive can mask certain things. It can make chord changes seem not too bad, and especially when we have a lot of rock riffs that kind of have this muting idea. Kind of play those chords pretty badly then, but the overdrive makes it okay. It's something to really be aware of. Another great riff, I don't think that we would do this with muting really, but this would be Wild Thing by the Trogs. So I'm going to leave all that in because I don't want you guys to think I'm just editing this and you know, it's just showing the good times I play. Let me figure this one out. This one is tougher. So A. I'll mute it so you can hear me clearly. D, D, E, E, D, D, Wild Thing. Make my heart sing. And that is the pure joy of electric guitar, playing a short, recognizable riff that other people will recognize, that sounds like something to you. It cannot be understated how cool that is. Now, a lot of other classic riffs are kind of a lot harder, but there are easier ways to do them. One example of this is Smoke on the Water, which can be a little tough the proper way to do it. And the easier way that I teach it, or always used to teach it, even to people that had never even held a guitar before, and once you've learned this, you can jam it along to the original recording as well, is just by plucking the middle two strings like this, and then going from the open to 3rd fret to 5th fret. Something like that. That at least sounds something like recognizable, even though I've only played it once before, and we kind of explored this idea on my side project, which is called Another Guitar Show, where we sort of did a lot more on this topic and other things that beginners can do. Check it out if you're interested in learning a bit more about this. And then, of course, the riff that I demoed in my acoustic guitar video that I just uploaded yesterday. This would be Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones, which does sound a lot more like it on electric guitar, or hopefully it will. Okay, so we had other strings ringing out there. This is really important. Did you hear it? Just kind of really likely, like the strings ringing out as I was playing. What I would do if I was playing electric guitar is I'd have my little finger, if I was playing it with my, the proper way around, the way that I learned, is have my little finger in the outside of my palm, kind of dampening those thinner strings, so they would always. I'm using improper kind of technique there. It's not perfect, but that's the kind of thing that I'd be doing, which is all what I call kind of taming the beast of electric guitar. If we let go of the strings, we straight away get some noise, and we've got to learn to dampen those strings right down. And I will say, from having a go at this left-handed, it is a real education, because you suddenly see why a lot of the videos I've done where we're learning riffs on one string, specifically electric guitar riffs, are suddenly quite doable. Even some of the trickier ones, maybe something like 20th Century Boy, that's hopefully something like recognizable. And even things like Seven Nation Army on one string are doable as a beginner. And as soon as we go over like between strings, it's really, really difficult. Like the difficulty becomes 10 times as hard when you're not used to doing it. It becomes easier if you play guitar a little bit every day, but it's a really important thing to know that go easy on yourself and learn these riffs, learn things that are recognizable, especially if you're learning electric guitar. It will make a lot of difference, and you can always revisit certain riffs that are perhaps your favorite and try and learn them more accurate to the record later. But don't put that pressure on yourself in the first week. Try and use proper technique. A couple of things to note on technique. We're having the thumb lower than most beginners would. A lot of beginners like to kind of hold things like this. We're going to be staying right on the tips of our fingers. That's the other thing that I'm doing, keeping that thumb lower. Keeping the elbow in at all times just tends to really help us be on the right kind of angle. I'm not tensing up too much, and I'm not... Here's a thing that I noticed when I first started playing. So I've kind of pressed down on a string. This is me pressing down now, just how I normally would. And then if I press down harder, the actual note bends up so much further. It's kind of crazy, just by pressing down too hard. So that's normal. I'm just going to press down harder. Straight away, really noticeable, and that would throw your guitar entirely out of tune. So a lot of my students, a lot of pupils would have what I call a sort of nickname gorilla grip. They'd be holding the guitar pressing down too hard and holding the thing for dear life. And not only does that mean that you can't play as fast, it can actually knock you out of tune so easy. And just even easy things sound very bad, because even if we play this E chord, that's normal. And then if I press down hard, I kind of knock it out of tuning, and I'm not bending the neck back or anything. I'm just pressing that string down too hard. Something to really be aware of. And if this is the sort of thing that you're after, those things that we can just get the most bang for your buck for, something where you can just start playing easy guitar riffs straight away and make the most, learn these little tricks that we have to do that are electric guitar specific, highly recommend that you check out my electric guitar starter course. Half of it is for free on YouTube, and the rest is available on the website at andyguitar.co.uk, and also on Android on the Andy Guitar app. It's only available on Android at the moment, I'm sorry, but the iOS one is coming, I promise you. And that will get you started with some free backing tracks, getting you jamming along to it. But don't discount, although we've had a lot of fun in this lesson, I hope, and there's some cool things that I've shown you. Don't discount just strumming some easy 3-chord songs, because we need those skills of learning how to play on the beat and just being able to play guitar along to the song for a couple of minutes, just to get the foundations of music and guitar under your fingers. Make this feel a lot more comfortable, and then you'll be able to learn a lot more riffs, and your progress will be rapid from there if you follow those principles, I promise you. Check out that electric guitar starter course and the other things I offer here on YouTube. I hope to see you in another video of mine. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.
You're wanting something to celebrate with Taco Bell's new $5 Bell Breakfast Box.
Hi guys, my name's Andy Crowley, and welcome to the first lesson in this electric guitar starter series. In this first lesson, I'm going to be talking you through all the bits and bobs that kind of accompany the electric guitar, including guitar choices, you know, the differences between electric and acoustic and different types of electric guitar, amplifiers, pedals, tuners, everything like this that you may need if you're just starting out on electric guitar. If you want to start playing straight away, click the link in the top corner here or in the description to get straight onto the first lesson in this starter course, where I'll be showing you how to play your first kind of electric guitar riff. But for the remainder of this lesson, I'm going to be demoing gear and giving you my recommendations. Now, all the gear and equipment that I show you in this video is my own, that I've bought with my own money. Nothing here is a paid endorsement at all. They're things that I regularly use, either myself or I bought to display to students for teaching purposes, to show them my recommendations, and I bought them myself because I believe in the product so much. If you want links to any specific product, all the links are in the description below, as is sort of a full page write-up on my website of this video. So let's get cracking. This is my main electric guitar. It is an Epiphone Les Paul standard, and I really endorse Epiphones. I think they're fantastic. Epiphone is essentially the budget sort of sister brand to Gibson, and therefore the prices are substantially cheaper than Gibson guitars in general. This one is a slightly more premium guitar than some Epiphone Les Pauls. So the cheaper version is kind of the Les Paul Special 2, or there's a Les Paul 100 that are slightly, more budget versions than this. And the difference is in the finish, not too many differences in the spec. The one thing that I upgraded in my Epiphone, in this one, is the pickup. The pickup is a Seymour Duncan 59 model, and this is the case for it, which has, the old pickup from this guitar in it. I dug this one out. So a 59 model humbucker. It models a PAF style sort of Gibson pickup, really, and that is the one upgrade that I highly recommend. If you're not quite happy with the sound you're getting from an Epiphone, upgrading the pickup is a very inexpensive way of doing it. This pickup, I think, cost me £60, and then I paid, a small amount of money for someone to change it for me, to do all the wiring, at the same time as getting a guitar setup where someone set the height of the strings and change the strings for a lighter set. That sort of thing. The other main model of guitar, or the main style of guitar, is a Stratocaster type guitar. Now, this is a Yamaha Pacifica, and you can see the differences in the body shape with the extra cutaway, where my hand's kind of pointing through here. There is a cutaway on this one, but this one is a thinner body. You might not be able to tell too much from the video, but that does make it different to play. And any other guitar that is kind of on the market is pretty much based on one of these two styles, the Les Paul style and the Stratocaster style guitar with the two cutaways. A Telecaster is sort of in between these two, and the Les Paul type is typically better for heavier music and will give you a heavier tone, and will be able to cope more with more overdrive, so more gain. I'll be explaining all these terms to you as we go through the video. And the Stratocaster style, this one, typically gives you a cleaner, twangier tone. However, you can get very close to both with either guitar, depending on the amplifier and pedals that you use. The main difference between that sound is with the pickups. You can see that these two pickups here only have one line of the pickup here, and then we have two here. So this is called a single coil pickup because there's only one coil of wire around this one, essentially around a magnet. This is how they work. And these one, they have two coils, so they're not called dual ones, they're called humbuckers, because the idea is you get twice the amount of signal from one of these and half of the hum, half of the noise. So these pickups are the same here, and the same whether they're covered or uncovered. They're the same underneath this covering. These are humbuckers, and they're what provide you with the deeper, rockier sound, or the heavier sound, rather than the body shape. But the body style and shape does contribute somewhat. But if you have a pickup like this, it's going to be heavier, and if all the pickups are like this, the single coil, they're typically going. Hey guys, my name's Andy Crowley, and welcome to the first lesson in this 10-lesson electric guitar starter course, where we're primarily just looking at rock guitar, really. This course includes everything you need to know, including how to play a few easy riffs and open chords, all the way up to learning power chords, and even the first scale that you should know to be able to play awesome rock riffs and solos on electric guitar. Every video in this series has a play-along track that goes with it. Each track has been specially composed by me to teach you guys a certain skill, such as how to do palm muting and get this sort of sound, for example. If you want to be able to get these kind of rock guitar sounds, this is the place to be. So let's get straight in for a close-up now and check out our first easy power chords and our easy riff. Okay guys, so in this video you are going to be learning how to play an E5 power chord, an A5 power chord. We're going to be learning a simplified version of I Love Rock and Roll, the song and riff by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. And then we're going to be playing along to a backing track that is going to provide drums and bass to this riff. So I'm going to show you in this video how to play along to this backing track that I've created myself, and you can download this backing track yourself by clicking the link that's in the description. All the info on how to do that is on the website. This is the little version of that riff that we're going to be learning, a very simplified version and a slowed down version so that everyone can follow this riff. That is essentially what we're going to be learning. There is an even easier version if you get stuck, or if playing along to the track this is a bit too much for you. But what we need to do, it's all done with our first finger for the vast majority, and we're going to place our first finger at the 2nd fret of the 5th string. So remember our strings 1 to 6, and this is string 5, fret 1, fret 2. But we want to lay it here, but we're going to be a little bit flatter than you would do for standard open chords, for example. We want to lay it like this, so flatter like this, so that we're also hitting the string underneath. Ideally, we want to hit the thicker 3 strings with our pick, and you will need to use a pick for this to get the sound, the aggressive sound, which is synonymous with rock guitar that I'm playing here. So we use the pick to play the thicker 3 strings, which for me are wound, and they will be on most electric guitars. All this stuff will work on acoustic, you just won't get this sound, and this is primarily designed, 100% for electric guitarists. Okay, so that's what we're going for. We strum twice. Flat first finger, kind of like this. So it's not touching the thinner strings here, but we do have a slight kink in our finger here to be ideal. That is the E5 power chord. Strum twice, so a small strum of the thicker 3 strings. And then we rest the outside of the palm of our hand. Let me take this off so you can see. The outside of the palm of your hand, just here. On all 6 strings, so that we get absolute silence, because when we have this amount of overdrive, it does tend to get a little unruly. It'll start making weird buzzing sounds if we don't silence it like this. And we need to do that twice. So strum, strum, mute, strum, strum, mute. Let's do that together now. So first finger here, and in 2, 3, 4, strum, strum, mute, strum, strum, mute. Okay. Now when you've done that second 2 strums, so here we're going to add the middle finger at 3rd fret of the thickest E string and play just that 1 string. Now to hit just 1 string, and for most of these power chords, it's ideal really to rest your arm, or your forearm, on the guitar itself and just pivot from your wrist like this. So I'm not taking a big swing at this. We're not really strumming. It's a little bit more than a single string pick, but it's more a picking technique than we're going for here. So that's the extra bit that we're going to add. But the easiest version of this riff, we're then going to have a A5 power chord, which is the same as the E. So this uses the E string and the next string down. We move your first finger down a string and we play an A power chord, but only strum or pick string 5, 4, and 3. So we're not going to play the thickest string, string 6. Don't play that one. And the first string we're hitting is the A note, so E, A. And this makes this an A5 power chord, or just an A power chord. And we're going to do the same two strums, strum, and a mute as we did before. So the super basic version of this riff, which you can play along to this back in track 2, goes like this. And we're going to be repeating that to the track. So even if you have absolutely no kind of finger dexterity and you're a total beginner, this is the first time you've ever held your brand new electric guitar or second-hand electric guitar, this is ideal because you can play along straight away and make some noise. So that is the first sort of level of this riff. Let's have a go at that one together, and then we're going to add the cool passing note, as it were. So from an E power chord, play along to me really slow, and then we'll go along to the track. 2, 3, 4. And the A power chords. Back to E. A. One last time. A. And that's all we're going to go for now, okay? So we're going to try and play that along to the track. If you couldn't do that, just pause this video or rewind back and have another go and try and make sure that you're only hitting the thicker 3 strings and that we're getting a good amount of silence here by gently pressing down on the strings in between each pair of sounds. And make sure your amplifier or amp simulator is sounding like this by having the right amount of overdrive on it, which will vary per amplifier. Great stuff. Let's have a little listen to this track before we add in the extra bit. So the track here has a count in of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's have a listen. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then we have bass and drums. And this is where we play E and A power chords over. Now to really make sure that we're not hitting that thickest E string when we play the A5, you can sit your thumb on top if you wish, but with the E chord it has to move like that. Let's have a go at doing this together to the track, and this, as I say, is the most basic way to play along to this track, and I'll show you the full way in 1 second. Let's play along together in 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the A. Back to E. A. Repeat. And we'll pause there, so stop playing now. So hopefully that was something that you could play along to, and it sounded like mine did there at home. How can we tell whether we're playing in time or not then? Well, we have this sound from the bass, and we have these strong short hit points from the drums. And you have to make sure that what you're doing happens at the same time as those drums, and that we don't kind of get 2 sounds. So let me show you what I mean. Let's play this one more time, and I just want you to listen this time. I'm going to play it in time and then purposely out of time to show you the difference. So 3, 4, strum, strum, mute. So that is happening at the same time. That's the bass that you can hear, and those hits on the drums. Now, if I play it a little bit, you can hear my guitar, and then you hear the bass. You hear the drums, and everything kind of sounds like this is them in line. And all right now, one happens, okay, so in time. Maybe a little bit late.
Oh, finally! Real guitar.
Time. And then played. Isn't good enough to be able to play along to something. It's great to be able to just play this on its own. For many of you, that will be but what we really want from this lesson is to play in time. So everything has to happen at exactly the same time. And this is perfect for it because we have a strong strum and a strong beat. Now let's add that extra little bit in for those of you that are able to kind of add this in. So we're going to strum E5, E5 again, and add this middle finger straight away. No pause after the second two strums. Let me show you again. Straight away. And then A5. Now this requires more pick activity and for that middle finger to be coordinated and get to where it needs to be. So let's just have a little play along together and then we'll have a go at the track. Play along from E5, 2, 3, 4. So that does make it a little bit more technical, but with a bit of practice. Hopefully this is something how to play that along to the backing track. This first lesson. Let's have a listen. So we hear 1, 2, 1, 2, E5. Track then. Remember, you can download this backing track and download this video from the website, links in the description, if you want to kind of have quite a few attempts at this and not need the video, not as long all the time basically. But now we're going to go for the full thing. So we're going to play along to the entire backing track, which is just a little over a minute, and you have a choice. The important thing is to be able to play in time. If we don't play in time with the track, then nothing that we do is correct, basically. It's one of the facts of kind of music. It has to be in time for it to be correct when we're playing along to something, which is the thing I'm adding with this entire course. Every video has a backing track that comes with it. So for this one, you have a choice. You can go for the easier version. Or the slightly harder version where we add the middle finger in. Okay, I'm going to be playing the harder version because I want you guys to hear that. But if you just want the A5 power along together for download this video and the entire course that this comes from, plus the backing tracks as audio, the tab, and fun little bonuses, all by visiting the website by clicking the links that are on the screen. Please subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I'm sure I'll see you again in one of my videos. Thank you very much for watching.
Just for fun, before we go. One more time. All right, one more time.
A 2 for $5 mix and match at Burger King. Want them as a side? Duh. A snack? Obviously. A meal? Yes. Mix and match chicken fries your way on the 2 for $5, only at Burger King.
At Petco, you can enjoy the convenience of picking up simply by pulling up.
All right, I think that's enough for today. We're going to
So
sign
you
off
can
from here
go
so I
and
can
go.
start getting to bed. Till next time, we're on the party. Rock on!
Hi guys, how are you doing? Thank you for checking out lesson 2 of this 10-lesson electric guitar starter course.